What's happening? What's going on? What's going on? What's happening? It has been a minute. It's not been like a long time, but I went on hiatus for a little bit. I'm back. Anyway, welcome. What's going on, everybody? K Mega 405 coming to you live from the 405. Well, I'm just your regular gamer talking to the intelligent gamers out there. And yes, I have a lot to say today, but I'll save what I think is the best for last. So anyway, let's get into it. One of the reasons why because the last time that I did make a video, I was talking about, the moves that I was planning on making. I just had a burnout moment. It was just, had to go. I think it was about a week later after I did a stream. What's going on with you, Craig? What's happening with you? You took the day off? Oh, okay, man. Appreciate you checking me out live, brother. Appreciate it. But yeah, no. A week after I did my last live stream, I had to go. Me and the wife went to look for a headstone for my mom, and so after that, I was messed up. So it just took a lot out of me. The wins, the sales, and it really 2024 for me has been like the 616 timeline sucks. Yeah, I am not a fan of it. The election, all that, it's just not a fan. Anyway, but you just got to keep it moving, persevere. So anyway, just needed that time. But the one thing that is my therapy, has always been my therapy, is gaming and being around just my friends, family, stuff like that. But gaming has been my therapy. And as you can see, I've been getting to work. So I beat Dragon Age Inquisition. There'll be something that I'll definitely be talking about here today. Also, I beat Metaphor. That was the first game that I beat. Well, not the first game I beat in 2024, but that was the first game I think I beat in October. I kind of didn't play any fighting games at all. And then after I beat Dragon Age, I went crazy on Call of Duty. And then I got the juices flowing to start fighting. And I've been playing Tekken for nothing but for the last week. I got all my characters, got every character up to a certain level that I want them to be on Xbox, and now I'm working on the PC version. So yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's been a long time. It's been a minute. But I needed to break, bro. I needed to break. I mean, you heard me say that in the DMs. I just needed that time off, man. So I'll be doing content. And for the remainder of this month until it's close to Christmas, and then I always take that Christmas break, and besides that, I'll be going on vacation. So I'll be gone for about 2 weeks, and in 2025 we're going to get it rolling. I do have a update on what I'm going to be doing with the channel. I've kind of discussed it before, where I'll be doing a lot more streaming. I'll be doing my thought videos, but I will be doing another podcast. Now, for people who follow me, the GRG podcast is going to be coming to an end on the 13th. Yes, Callie. Yes. The identity politics and gaming. Yeah, I'll be saving that for last because I'm going to be very political. And if you've been following me here for the last few months, I have been very, very political, non-apologetic, and still won't be apologetic at all. That's kind of like where the direction where I think I want to go. Not with my full channel. I'm still going to be a gaming channel. But I do want to kind of throw a political spice here and there. That's what I'm looking to try to do with my next podcast. I remember when I was telling the fellas the idea that I was thinking about with the new podcast that I want to do. I brought it up. It was at the beginning of this year, and because I was telling the guys that I was thinking about winding down GRG and just kind of winding down and just not doing the content creating thing, period. But I just kind of seen listen, man, it's my outlet. I like it. I've always enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? I like to talk. So, hey, this is my thing to do it. But I'm going to have fun with it. With the always when I'm doing a podcast, I'm always trying to have fun with it. I'm not trying to be always a stick in the mud or something like that. There's always some serious moments, but it's mostly all about just having fun. Just for people who's listening, riding, or just at work, or just gaming, whatever the hell that you're doing, and you just want to listen. Sometimes you want to laugh. You don't want to have things that's always stressful, or if there's moments where things get heated, that can make some people that's entertaining for itself too. But the podcast that I've talked about, Ham and Lope, they've kind of implemented. I was telling about what I was looking at for the plan. I haven't watched the podcast, nothing against Ham and them, but I haven't watched any podcast, none, for a minute. I just kind of, like I said, stepped away and just kind of looked at it from perspective of like, I don't even want to have nothing to do with the console war. It's gotten corny now. So the console war aspect to me is completely corny. Look, Xbox has lost the console war aspect. I've been on that train saying that for the last year now. That their new direction is going somewhere else to where there will become the market leader. You've heard me say this, and I still stand by that. But now when you just see people that still talking about console sales, it just doesn't have the same impact because the console sale numbers just isn't reminiscent of. I mean, like if we're talking about the PlayStation 5 or, doing as well as what the PlayStation 4 is doing, it's not. PlayStation 4 is actually still selling. So what are we doing here? Like it's corny now. Like and then the flip flopping and it's ridiculous because you have some people that feel that they still can't be an Xbox Pro channel because the way Xbox's direction with the console is affected their support for Xbox. It really doesn't make any sense. If you wasn't in, then you wasn't never all in my opinion. So for me, I don't know. But for the direction I want to go with the channel is, like I said, it's still going to be, my thoughts is going to be always, it's going to be gaming oriented first. But the next podcast that I want to do, it can still be with gaming and things like that. It's got nothing to do with that, but there will be things that will be talked about, political and any and other things too. So yeah, that's the direction I want to do in 2025. And again, so if people aren't interested into that aspect of podcasts, you still get Fight Night Sundays. You'll still get other stuff. The one thing though that is clear that me doing podcasts on Friday nights is dead. I will never do it again. After the 13th, it ain't. I mean, I'll jump on somebody's show if they hit me up or something like that, if they have something going on Friday or whatever. But me having my Fridays back, bruh, I'm good. I'm good. I forgot how much the Friday nights meant to me. For years, I've just, grinding and doing it. Like, I'm like, nah, bro, I'm not going back to that. I'm not going back to that. So anyway, that's kind of like the update. But again, the last GRG podcast will be the 13th. It will be the day after the VGAs. And you know what? I think is the right time for it. I really do. I think that the climate and like I said, the console war aspect, I guess I'm a part of it because I'm always talking about PlayStation or Nintendo or Xbox in some capacity, but the game has just changed too much to still kind of keep throwing that same bone when we're seeing how gaming has changed completely right before our eyes. And it's really wild to me that there's still people that's upset that things are not the same. We'll never get back to shit the way it was in 2010. It's never going to come back. That gaming era is over. It's over. It's over. So let it go, guys. Let it go. Xbox has made a decision, and listen, I hit up Phil, and I told him, look, man, I'm not a fan of some of the things that's going on. I mean, because I'm a traditionalist, but you guys see something that I don't, and I trust the path. That's just what my thing is. You know what I'm saying? Hope all is good. Keep it pushing. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Go Team Green. That's the thing. Like, the console aspect of things with Xbox is like, when the last thing that I seen something with somebody was showing numbers Well, I think like Xbox on Amazon sold like 32,000. That was the Series S. I don't know if I think it just was the Series S. I don't know if it was both the X or the S or whatever. 32,000 or whatever. And then they was just like, oh, look at this, Xbox not even trying or whatever. Xbox has told you that, look, there is this aspect, there's the decline of people buying consoles is at an all-time high. Yeah, no, you know what I'm saying? It has been. The console war has been real corny. It's not even, you know what I'm saying? It used to be fun. It was at one time it was fun and it was wild to it was cool to be wild and with it and talk good shit and just get through it and just, you know, and everybody laugh and chill and talk about it at the end. And then all of a sudden it got crazy. People started to act out of pocket, started taking it personal, start wanting to try to be hard in the paint and try to be something that they ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we're all gaming nerds here. Now, some people, we have some kind of past to us or whatever, or things of that nature. But most of these people on here on this internet got real out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? Taking low blows to people's families and so forth and so forth. Then at the point it gets to where you get to a phase where they try to make it into like pro wrestling, where they were the good guy supposedly, and then they turn to the heel, and then they try to come back to be the good guy again, and that's not how this works. You know what I'm saying? When you're looking at how people are riding for PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo, it's on the same wavelength as how people like Android or Apple. You know, Apple. You know what I'm saying. iPhone. So it's like it's a whole different aspect to it. There's no, you know, it's like, yeah, there might be somebody that might have a Samsung TV, but their true love is it's the LG. You know, it's the LG. So they you know, so it's the same type of thing. Like a person will ride for an LG. Like for me, I'm a Samsung guy. I mean, I had an LG. I gave it to my daughter. I was like, nah. We're moving on from that. You know what I'm saying? It's not, and I got a Sony television. You know what I'm saying? And my wife loves it, and she took it from me. That was my first like major big television that I got. Like I got a 4K television, but it was a Samsung, and that's when I kind of remember. But then, like my main big purchase for a television was the Sony, and so like it was great television. It's still you know, it's older now, but it still holds up really well. And then, you know, I still got my Q90R, and I'm still looking and debating if I want to get a new television or if I want to get a new monitor. I don't know, man. I'm kind of digging the monitor thing, but you know what I'm saying? I'm still a TV guy. Anyway, I'm rambling, but my whole point about this is this, that the things with the channel is just crazy. And I, you know what I'm saying, I'm looking forward to the new venture. It's still kind of the same, but it's going to be different. I know that I seen my boy Verge hit me up and says, man, my Friday nights ain't been the same without GRG, brother. You got it one more time, man. The 13th. I hope you guys come through and enjoy the last day of the GRG podcast with me. And it's going to be great. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I like I said, it might be a moment where it might be a little sad or whatever, but nah, man, I'm going to be grateful. I'm grateful for the people who's been supporting the podcast, the channel, and everything else for as long as it's been running. And, you know, and like I said, I'm just going to be making a different path while still kind of doing some of the same things. It's just what it is. So, what Kelly's saying is saying like a lot of people speculate it isn't Phil going behind this push that it's Microsoft. Yeah, you know what? It is. And I think that at the end of the day, what Phil has seen, right? Like I think it would still be a lot of pushback from Phil if he's seen something that there was a different pathway to kind of stay on a traditional path. And obviously he's seen something to have Sarabon and the powers that be see something. And again, like they made a pivot, they can make another pivot. Like, I mean, like remember, Starfield and Forza were supposed to be games that were supposed to be slated to be coming to PlayStation this year. It's not happening. You know, could it still happen? Potentially, but I don't see Forza. I just don't see it. I mean, I just don't see it. I do see Starfield maybe being that opportunity. I wouldn't like it for the main reason of why so many people dogged on it. And the only reason why they will talk shit about it, well, they'll be in praise of it because it will be on PlayStation. But again, it is what it is. I don't know what Xbox is going to do. Like I normally try to throw on my guessing hat on certain things, and usually it sticks. On this, I have no idea what Xbox is going to do. Like Xbox can definitely change and go back to being traditional. I mean, the whole because of the election, things now is going to be different, especially with Xbox's approach without having to worry about the FTC. Now how people may feel about Lena Khan, I was not a fan of what Lena Khan was doing towards Xbox and then letting PlayStation and Nintendo just run rampant and wild and not have any type of guardrails against them. But her work of going against corporations and also with the CMA, I support it because of the fact that corporations, they don't give a damn about us like that. So you got to hold them accountable to some degree. But with the Microsoft thing, I was not a fan of. I thought it was really, really silly for her to really go all in and not really pay attention. Well, I should say her and the FTC did not pay attention about the concept of what Sony has done for the last 30 years and continue to do and get away with. With that being said, Lena Khan is not going to be the person going forward. So, and it's going to be very corporation friendly. And this is why I was saying, I posted this last week where I said, I believe Xbox is going to be aggressive again. And it may not be aggressive by going after Sega or Warner Brothers or something like that, but they're going to be aggressive. And that's what I'm saying, that they could pivot again and make another decision on like, look, okay, these games are already here. We'll throw these other games there, but we're going to start locking things down and we're going to acquire whatever. I don't know. And they could be waiting on also what Sony is going to do with the whole rumors of them maybe getting the owners of From Software, which is the Katoa, you know me. I'm still country and I'm still going to mess up names, especially if it's foreign. But anyway, so let me be country. But that's why I said the owners of From Software. So again, it could be one of those things where, because this is what's going to be crazy. Because if Sony do acquire them, it's a hostile takeover pretty much of whatever, how they announce it, because they don't really have, like the Japanese government don't really allow those type of things, but for some reason they might let this one go, but it's up to Sony if they want to buy them. It would from the console war aspect of it, from the fanboy aspect of it, yes, you would think that they would hold all of those games under PlayStation and lock them down, and that's going to be a win for them. But in the bigger scheme of things, this is about making money. And when you sit here and you look, and there'll be stands that'll say it don't sell that well. Bullshit. It sells enough to where if you don't hit expectations, that pocketbook looks light if it's not making the same amount of money or more. And PlayStation is not going to generate more console sales, especially the prices of what these consoles are still at. So you have to think so Sony would have to think, if they did acquire them, like, look, this game has already been out. We're going to lock it down. Now, it could be a timed exclusive thing to where it would help and boost some sales on consoles, things like that. But I just don't see Sony would be that arrogant in this time to withhold the Demon Souls games. I mean, they could. I mean, it is Sony. And Sony would, but that's not going to kill Xbox. See, that's the thing. Like, see, a lot of people were upset about the Activision, they're now kind of mad about the Activision, the ABK deal or whatever, Activision deal, and and because of the Xbox pivot and what they've done and how they're changing their approach. But that's a card that they have now that they're never going to lose. I mean, we see now, like they were trying to talk down, the media and everything else was trying to talk down about COD, trying to break it down. COD is still number one, number two, number three. You know, even the COD that had the worst rating last year didn't matter. Didn't matter. Didn't matter. COD still sold fantastic. This COD is crazy. It's really good actually. It's really really good. So that's the difference. So yes, Sony can sit there and try to do that. That would have been a killing blow, maybe, if Xbox didn't acquire ABK. There's no killing blow that Sony can make to stop the onslaught of what Xbox did by acquiring, or say Microsoft acquiring Activision. That's the deal now. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, so it would be crazy for them to not have those games go over to continue to go to Xbox. But again, if Xbox consoles aren't selling, and the Xbox position is like, look, man, hey, everything is it is an Xbox. Xbox is still going to make their money. So it's so, except they're just not going to make the money like they would if the game stayed, a multi-plat. So I just think that Sony, it would be bold. Sony is bold enough to do crazy things like that. But I think that situation, the game would still sell well. It's still great, but it won't sell at the clip that it did. And what you're looking at is that if Sony kept it exclusive and kept it away from Nintendo and PlayStation, and Xbox, oh, they're losing crazy money. So I just don't see that they would withhold that money. Withhold that game or those franchises. I just don't see it. Now, timed exclusive, yeah, I can see that, but not just keeping it and keeping it in house. I just don't see it benefiting them that way. Callie's saying, you're not the only one with big changes to their stuff. Going to miss GRG though. Yeah, no, man. You know what? Like I said, the whole thing with GRG is, for one, I got tired of the gaming politics. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to do, just trying to have something to bring out to the people to have a good time. And it's not like anybody's fault or anything. It's just the one thing. It's just like, man, look, man, I'm just trying to have a show. You know what I'm saying? Like, can we do this? And then there's, well, I'm going to come. I'm not going to come. I'm busy. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And then it's last minute. Oh man, I can't make it. Whoa, all right. I can make it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going through way worse than what some of these other people are doing. And I'm like, I'm here. So again, it's not, like I said, it's nobody's fault on the situation. But again, it's like a Friday night, people getting off work, people sitting here doing anything, whatever the case may be. And it is what it is. Like, and I'm just kind of like, I'm through with that. I'm beyond that now. I'm just like, look, I'll just do anything by myself if I need to. But again, I've had people that said that they want to be a part of this new podcast that I want to do. So we'll see how that is. But there will be guidelines for sure. So after all that stuff got to be ironed out. But GRG is just, man, it's been a fun ride, man. I loved it. I'm over 300 some episodes, man. I didn't even think I could ever do a podcast that would ever make it to 50 episodes, man. I didn't even think that I would be doing content creating this long. So for anything that, this to me is great. Like, I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? And for me being on and off, you know what I'm saying? It hurts views, but I'll get those views back. I'll, you know what I'm saying, get the subs back. It's no big deal on that aspect of it. I'm having a good time. Just taking that break. I needed the break. So, you know what I'm saying? And so the content will be coming back, and hopefully you guys will stick around and we'll get to it. So, you know what I'm saying? That's what it is. I got to go. I wanted to get back to, go back and do my playthrough, my second playthrough through Wukong. And then I got to go back to do Space Marines 2, because I did stop that. And then when I last stopped, my last stream is when I was doing Mortal Kombat 1, doing the second expansion, which that's kind of the first topic I want to get into, is the Mortal Kombat 1. I was enjoying it, and I stopped and I was like, okay, we'll do part two. And then I never came back to finish it. So I'll start it over. I probably might start that over this Sunday when I do when Fight Night returns. So we'll go through that. I was enjoying that, but the topic that I wanted to bring up is the rumor that they're saying that, and I don't know if it's still a rumor, it might be official, that Mortal Kombat 1's third year DLC has been canceled. I like Mortal Kombat 1. I think Mortal Kombat 1 is a cool game. But I like MK11 better. And you know, I've always talked about like there's a big group of people that love Mortal Kombat X. That is the ugliest Mortal Kombat. Going back and playing it, I mean, it was fast. It's very fast paced, and I don't hate it, but man, Mortal Kombat 11 was perfect for me. Like the characters were better. The you know, graphically, oh my god, the story, yeah, man, the story in Mortal Kombat 11 was 10 times better than, in my opinion, than Mortal Kombat X. And you know what I'm saying, and yeah, it was slower, but I just felt like it was more. You felt like you had more control with Mortal Kombat 11. But I just like Mortal Kombat 11 more than I did Mortal Kombat X or Mortal Kombat 1. The learning curve with Mortal Kombat 1 is, it's almost like this. It's like I'm a person that likes to play with every character so I can understand how to combat against other characters. Especially when I'm playing against them online. And then on top of that, and then I need to try to find, because, you know, each of all these legacy fighters and games, like they do different changes and things like that to their character base. So you have to get a feeling of what's that and what character I think that I would like, or characters, because I always have a set of like 5 or 6 characters that I like to play with the most. And then I kind of set them on the side and then kind of play with everybody else for a little while and then go back to the main 5 or 6. And then that's all I play with is them. Right. So that's always how it's been my strategy with where I play fighting games. But yeah, I mean, some of the learning curve on some of those characters was just outrageously difficult. Like, I'm like, what in the hell? And so again, when you go in there and you're playing against people online, you already know that there's people that's going to exploit the game, and the cheaters. That aspect, it's no fun. But you got to deal with it. You'll break it. You'll break a code, and then you'll find a way to win. I did 2 of the seasons pass. I got to forgot what it was the second to the highest rank that I could get. That you can get to. So I was happy about that. And then I haven't gone back since. I haven't gone after the second season. So now I'm going to be getting back into my fighting stuff. Like I said, I've been playing nothing but Tekken here for the last week. So the next game is going to be Street Fighter, and then it's going to be Killer Instinct, and then I'll get on Mortal Kombat 1. I will be playing the story and do a little bit, you know, I won't be doing the online yet because I still got to get acclimated to it. But the one thing I can say is that the characters felt a little bit better when I was playing with Cyrax and Sector, and I'm really happy about Sector because Sector is one of my favorite characters on Mortal Kombat next to Kung Lao. And I think that's one reason why I don't like Mortal Kombat X, because I felt that they just did Kung Lao dirty. He just wasn't as fluid or as smooth as Kung Lao has always been in all of the Mortal Kombats. He seemed like really altered in Mortal Kombat X. So anyway, now back on to this. Listen, sales numbers were good enough, but people just start falling off because people didn't really dig the new concept. And then the one thing that when we deal with what comes with fighters, I'm seeing this now when I'm playing with Tekken. Like, so this is one of the reasons why I wanted to build up all my characters up past, I wanted to build them up to Assailant or higher. Because once you get to Assailant and up in Tekken 8, you're still going to deal with the cheaters, but but the cheaters dwell and the bottom tier character labels. They just dwell there, and it's weird because like I've played enough people to see those cheaters even on the Xbox, and then now I'm playing on the PC now, and I'm seeing those same people, and I'm like, how the hell they're not even they're not higher ranked yet. Like they're still at a lower level. And so like if you got it, well, I don't have any characters that's in combatant, but I have players that's on the PC that's in brawler. Man, some characters that I was fighting with, man, especially last night, was crazy. Like I'm like, what in the hell? It's like, yo, like the cheating is insane in there. Then once you get to warrior, it kind of gets a little bit better, but once you get to assailant, it drops off dramatically. So that's for anybody who's out there that hasn't played Tekken 8 yet, or thinking about getting Tekken 8. If you're going to play online play, get your character, your couple of characters that you want, and hurry up and get the hell out of combatant and get to assailant. It's, you know what I'm saying? I would say warrior, you might be all right, but man, I got out of warrior. I got straight into assailant, and it was better. And then once you get into mighty whatever, or you get to the higher levels, dominator and all that other stuff, and then you're dealing with upper tier players, and you'll still see a cheater here or there, but for the most part, it seems like the people that's been playing that's on the higher tier that's kind of gotten rid of those people, or those players don't want to play. It was like I showed a clip on Twitter the other night where I was playing against a cheater, and his name was Mr. Beat Your Ass, and I ripped him apart because I know the strategies of what they do, but sometimes you get, most of the time I know how to get through it. There's sometimes that you'll get got, but it is what it is. But that's the one thing about, like, if Tekken wants to get better at that, or these fighting games want to get better at that, make sure that they look out for those cheaters that dwell in those first upbringing, those first rounds, that people when they first come in, the newbies, and just people that just want to jump in and play a couple of matches and things like that. That there's predators there. They're just waiting to just spam the hell out of them. That just want to just make these people not play, or I don't know. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. But then to my other point with Mortal Kombat, like I'm looking at this and I'm saying, okay, all right, yeah, it's like I thought the concept, like I like the story. The story is cool in Mortal Kombat 1. I thought that everything within it made sense, all that. It's just that the characters are different, but they're not that much different. You know what I mean? Like, you would think that, okay, so yeah, you got Sector and Cyrax that are females, right? Like, and that's fine. There's no situation that I have an issue with that at all, because of the way that the thing is structured in the timeline and all that, right? But my thing is that, like, okay, so there really isn't a different variance. Like, they still play the same. So it's kind of wild. Like, you would think that, to really mess things up, like give like Kung Lao Raiden's powers or something like that. I don't know. Like, that's what to me was a little bit odd. Also, the one thing too is that, like I said, the learning gap is, that's why you only see so many people playing with the same characters over and over and over and over and over again. Omni-Man, Melina. I don't know who's patched now to where who's playing with the most now right now, because like I said, I haven't played Mortal Kombat 1 in a while, but yeah, because they're easier combos to get through, and you can spam the hell out of people with it, and that's it. Like, that's the one thing to me with fighters that, this is why I love Tekken, and this is why I love Street Fighter 6, is because there's enough variance to where even if the people go and always play with those same type of players, there's enough variance of characters that can change, that you can beat those characters that people always play with. Like in Mortal Kombat, it's almost, you have to master one or two characters. And if you're a person like me that kind of likes to play with everybody, want to be skillful with 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 the I'll say even with my top three, but just know how to play with everybody else to make fights competitive. It's almost impossible because it's like you have to almost master one or two characters and then that's it. And I know that or you just got to live on the game. And since I'm a person that plays all different types of games, I'm not going to just live on one particular game. It's just not my thing. Like I play all different types of stuff. So. Let me go back to what Callie was over here talking about that acquisition. He thinks that the acquisition by the way he feels from Soft won't go under Sony. He thinks they'll stay under Sony Music Japan and owners of Aniplex. Oh yeah, that's right. They do own that too. He says not to be confused with Sony Music. Okay, I got you. Yeah. Okay, I got what you're talking about. Yeah. I forgot that they owned them. Yeah, they picked them. They picked that whole thing up. What, around 2002, something like that. So yeah, I mean, it's more than just from software. It's definitely the anime thing. Like Sony is really going all after the anime thing. Like I know that and I know that it is funny because I see a lot of people saying they don't know how that the Carnage movie, the Venom movie, did well or whatever. I don't know. I didn't see it, so I can't judge it. But Sony movies overall have not really been doing that well. But their animes and their like the Spider-Verse stuff is done very well for them. So I think just right now, like when you really look at the whole movie landscape, there's so many people that's complaining about any and everything now. So it seems like the only thing that they don't complain about is anime or anything that is a cartoon, So it's like those things get passes. If you got a movie for some reason, like I'm seeing that people are complaining about Gladiator 2. And I've heard really good things about Gladiator 2 from people that went to go see it. But again, you go on Twitter X, it's always something. So whatever. But yeah, but with anime, it gets a pass. So I think that, and Sony is doing really, really good in that category. And just from like when I've listened to videos where these insiders talk about how like Sony films aren't really making the money that they want to, or things like that, maybe that's one of those things, but that's really crazy because then when you look at something like the Carnage, not Carnage, why I keep saying Carnage, the Venom movie did great numbers, but I don't know. So, but yeah, the anime thing is definitely, I think, what they mainly want to go for. And I know that this company does a whole little bit of everything, so I have no idea. But, it would be smart for Sony to get that, and especially PlayStation fans can get Bloodborne. I know that they've done some kind of patch or update or something. So there might be an update. There might be some kind of announcement, maybe at the VGAs. There's a rumor that Sony has a lot of stuff in the pipeline coming out. So maybe they might have their own show. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe them after what, 7 years? 7, 8 years? It's been that long, man, that they might have they might have a December show or a January show or something like that, a big event, because, maybe their 2025 is going to be a lot bigger than what a lot of people are anticipating. I don't know. We'll see. But those are the rumors that's floating around. You think Spider-Verse might get hit hard since the creatives got fired from Sony and they were the ones who planned the trilogy, Spider-Verse. See, I didn't know all that, but again, I don't know, Callie. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's weird to me. Like the Spider-Man franchise, to me, honestly, is feel like it's not the movies, but the games. And I think that there's starting to be a little bit of fatigue. I mean, because listen, I haven't played Spider-Man 2. I'm waiting for it when the PC version comes out. Play it, and then I'll make my determination. I'm looking forward to playing it. I like all the other Spider-Mans that's came out. So from since Sony acquired them. So yeah, I think I'll like this one. I mean, I don't know about the Mary Jane thing where people was upset about whatever. I don't know, but we'll see. But listen, I just think that there's a little bit of fatigue from the whole Spider-Man thing. I think honestly, the one big shot that they had, they canceled it, which was the MMO. I think that that would have still brought a lot of life and maybe brought a different approach to how Sony may have wanted to do those Spider-Man movies, because they've been real hell bent of wanting to bring the Sinister Six. It just hasn't worked for them. I mean, Craven looks good. The Venom movies look corny to me. I never cared for them, so they just, I've just never been a fan of them. And then Bloodshot, I think it was, Vin Diesel was playing as that character. That was awful. That was not an enjoyable movie at all. I just think that, like, Craven looks good though. Craven looks like something I definitely would go to the theaters to see. But how would it resonate? Like, that's the thing. Like, I don't know, man. It's really wild. I think that if Sony doesn't play this smart, Marvel is sitting here just waiting. Marvel has a contract with them, and that Sony has to produce so many movies, so make so much money, do whatever with that Spider-Man franchise, and they just have their lawyers on speed dial. If Sony slips up at any point in time with Spider-Man, so they can snag Spider-Man back from Sony, man, it's there, and so so Sony better be very, 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 very careful. Saying maybe that could be one of the approaches of why they're thinking about maybe acquiring the people that own From Software. Because I mean, listen, like I said, the anime is doing good for them. But anyway, the fighting situation, like Mortal Kombat 1's great, but it just isn't resonating with the gamers like that. Like the players are leaving Mortal Kombat 1, and then also that there was a couple of things that Mortal Kombat 1 has made some mistakes in. And I was in there and Maximilian made this point, and I have to give him credit on that. So that's why I'm not going to just say it and act like I just came up with that. But the one thing that I didn't notice that he brought up was the on-screen. Like when Tekken or in Street Fighter or in others, like when you're on you can practice you can practice on, like in Tekken, you can practice learning moves while you're waiting for a match. In other fighters, you could be doing other things to where you could be practicing, or you could just be looking at moves or something different. And Mortal Kombat, you just got to sit there and wait. Mortal Kombat 1, you just got to sit there and wait. And sometimes you got to wait for a really long time, which that's never a good sign, because that lets you know that it's not as many people playing the game. And so that's too old school. Like that wasn't thought in. And I think that would be perfect to set up to where if you want to play with a new character for the first time, you learn a few move sets so you can have that going on and learn to get whatever going. But they just didn't do it. I don't know. But I'm not trying to say that the game is not bad. It's not good. It is a good fighter. It's just that it's so different. It's so foreign that I think that it just turned a lot of people, especially traditionally, because Mortal Kombat is the one fighter that more casual, the more casual gamer go to. They appeal to it, not because only the characters are cool in the game, and Mortal Kombat is Mortal Kombat, but it also, what I'm saying, the stories in Mortal Kombat is so much more better than any other fighting game story out there. So hands down, no question. So again, that's where the casual market like to go. But then if you jumping in and you play, and they've been playing Mortal Kombat a certain way for all these years, and I understand that the way that they changed it to try to put a little different pizzazz to it, it just, I don't know. I wonder if they're going to go back to the original recipe when they bring the second version of Mortal Kombat. Like, are they just going to just take away the kind of the Marvel vs. Capcom assist, or like, okay, so like in Mortal Kombat, like Mortal Kombat 11, they did have moments where you could have assists and it worked fine. Like they could have done it that way, but again, I seen like, I don't know, it just felt so foreign that I know that that's what turned, and some of those combos for maybe some of those people's maybe favorite characters was so confusing and so like and the casual market is not gonna deal with that, and especially when you go in there and people are getting wiped. When you see Omni Man, you know that Omni Man is gonna be a problem. and you're gonna get dusted. So it's pretty crazy. So it is pretty crazy. But anyway, so my whole thought about that. There's another also too of this too, and it's kind of bleed over into another part of what I wanted to talk about, which was the devs situation. I've seen a lot of people that's going after the devs for um, kind of pushing back against the public, and I'm all for. I mean, the one thing that people need that the devs do need to understand is that look, we're the ones that help pay that makes your money, no doubt, no question. But I also understand that there's people that's so overly passionate that aren't devs that don't know the struggle, try to act like that they're like shade tree devs and they can know how to make a game better than the devs do themselves. So yeah, there's this tit for tat. But there was something that I seen that really pissed me off, and that was there was a Tekken dev. He was at like a class, a school, or something like that, and so he was bringing up the stuff of talking about how people will complain about a certain patch will come in and then the game is altered in a certain way, and then they would say that they would lie to the fans and say that well we added another patch and it did 50% this that and the third, and then they would be like oh man this is great or whatever, just trying to kind of almost trying to make fools out of the fan base. Now see, that's inappropriate. That's not something that needs to be done. Again, devs get paid handsomely. And so therefore they got to understand that the scrutiny now, not all the scrutiny that they get, because people be wilding. Like people really be saying some really stupid shit and deservedly do not need to be paid attention to when they take it left. But for the most part, there are people that just have legitimate concerns and just want the game to feel like for me in Tekken, the one crazy thing to me is like it's a 3D game. Why the hell do I have to deal with? Why the hell are you trying to make it Tekken 8 seem like it's a 2D game? And one occasion point is like one of my skills is that I'm good at sidestepping. I'm good at maneuvering against my opponent. And so like when you put in a string of combos, and I understand that Harada said that, look, I'm going to make this game more offensive friendly. I mean, that's kind of like where all these fighters has kind of gone, is being offensive friendly to try to bring more action, more eyes to the seats. um well, eyes to the game, or people in the seats or whatever. But it makes no sense when you have a 3D game and then you have people that's just running rampant and just and you sidestep it, which is a 3D thing. If somebody's punching and you know how to move out the way, but then the punch is going, or the kick, or the whatever is going, if it's not a roundhouse, if it's not a sweep, if it's not a whatever, and it follows you, that's not cool. And again, I know the games are not perfect because they're made by imperfect beings. So again, I know that, but there's just some things that just blatant. And so when you hear the excuses that, well, it's just that we're being offensive, no, it's just that you just want people to just, you know that you made a mistake on that. It is not a good look, but it is what it is. Just say that. Just say, look, we just want this game to be this way and we're not going to change it, blah, blah, blah. Third, we will patch certain things here and there, but for everybody else's concerns on certain things like this and that and the third, hey, listen, we're trying to do something different here or whatever. Okay, fine. But I did not like the fact that dev came out there and was like, well, he had to lie to the people to make them feel comfortable. And then the people made fools of themselves by saying, oh yeah, this thing is great or whatever. The third, that's not cool. That's not cool. I think another thing too is where you get a lot of people, and I've been seeing this a lot, and this is why I have not bought 2K25 yet, is that more and more people I mean, you get this every year, no question, no doubt. Oh man, it's terrible. NBA 2K is terrible. FIFA or FA is terrible. You get that every all the time, right? Um, Hell, I even think that there's videos of people saying that college football is terrible. Absolutely not. College football is fantastic. And man is good this year. Man is real good this year. I mean, the man is man. So it's just like there's a stigma behind, these type of games, and it's kind of the hit piece of where people want to that's their niche. That's where that's where they get their ad revenue from. Okay, cool, whatever. But it seems like that there's some legitimate stuff about NBA 2K25 that's really got people upset. Now, again, I've listened to all different types of terminology, but the thing is that, listen, this is the only basketball game in town, right? And I've been a 2K fan ever since I've seen Iverson on the cover on the Dreamcast 2K. But at this point now, we're almost looking at 2K turning into what we hated about Madden when Madden bought out the competition pretty much. So look, I'm still going to be a 2K fan, but I think that there's a time to where NBA EA needs to try to think about bringing about NBA Live or bringing back. I mean, and I know that those rumors are saying that they were bringing a division of EA Big and that they could be working on another NBA Streets, which I think we've seen gameplay of NBA Streets. So yeah, they're bringing back NBA Streets, which I think that's smart. But I think that there needs to be another entity to come out to bring another simulated basketball game. Just like I still feel the same way with football. Like, I mean, I like Madden, I enjoy Madden, but I just think that in the better days of when you have competition, it's better to have something else to look at. And then when you see that these guys when you see when one company is making a bad decision and another company exploits it, then that company is going to have to correct it. What's going on with you, Verge? And so that's my thing. It's like I think that that's what needs to happen. I think it's just that, and I mean, listen, 2K, for all the money that it gets, the microtransaction stuff, like that's what I wasn't going to be into the park and none of that stuff this year. I was into it last year, like I brought it up and talked about it. How much money did I spend? And I'm just like, no, that's crazy. That's crazy. And I'm having a good time and it's fun. But then I'm looking at like, man, why am I spending so much money on this just to play and compete? And it just doesn't make sense. So I'm like, nah, when I get 2K, I'm going to get 2K and just go back to doing what I always do. And that's the franchise with the GM mode and play some online matches and just go from there. But to me, it's just what, like, people are upset about the animations. People are upset about how the devs are treating the gamers. And it's like, if you keep continuing to want to have something that's worth something, to keep it stable, you have to listen to the gamers in some way, shape, or form. Like, I mean, you just have to. I mean, we're the ones to sit there and keep this game moving. And I know that because they're the only show in town that people still continue to go to buy Madden. They're still going to continue to buy NBA 2K. But when you look and see the drop off of how many people aren't playing 2K, and when you see the drop off of how many people aren't playing Mortal Kombat right now, and you see the drop off of other games, because they are not listening to the fan base, it's gotten to a point to where it seems like the devs feel like, and like I said, I don't have a problem with the devs pushing back, especially when people are really out of pocket, and they shouldn't be. They shouldn't be as cruel and as sensitive as some people are. But you can't sit there and just ignore everybody just because you made the game. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, we pay to buy this, to play these games. So it's a little different. It's kind of crazy to me, but I don't know. I find that to be a problem. All right. Let me move on off of that. Let me get to some of these rumors out there. This is the rumors right here. Let me see. Let's see. Okay, so all right. There's supposed to be games. There's supposed to be announcements. These are rumors. Announcements at the VGAs, and that is there's supposed to be a game called Exodus. I don't know. I haven't seen anything about it. Persona 5, the Phantom X, the console version. There's supposed to be a game called Split Faction Fiction, Split Fiction, from Hazel Light Studios. Rise of the Ronin DLC. I'm waiting for that to come to PC so I can give that a shot. And, the Xbox release for Black Myth. Listen, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to go over the nominees here, and I'm going to give you my thoughts of what should win and what shouldn't. But man, Black Myth is my game of the year. That's hands down. After beating Metaphor, after beating Dragon Age Dragon Age Veilguard, beating Hellblade 2, beating the only game that I think that's in the running. I played Alan Wake. I haven't beat Alan Wake 2, but Black Myth is just it. Black Myth is just, man. Black Myth is that is a monster game. That game is so damn good. Anyway. Wonder Woman, which I'm looking forward to that. I'm very looking forward to Wonder Woman because I love the studio. What I'm saying? Monolith. I love Monolith's work, especially what they did with Shadow of Mordor. Man, I am very, very much looking forward to that. So I hope we will get to see that. Game called Enfold Game. Oh, well, hold on. It's called Enfold Games title. The project, The Perceiver, of Ballad and Terra. So I don't know. There's supposed to be a God of War related announcement, maybe, which is the Greek Saga remastered. And listen, I'm not all for the remasters and all that, but listen. That is a remaster that I'm all for and I'm all in for. I will get that in a heartbeat on PC. Give me the Greek Saga remastered. Yeah, announce that day one buy. I get all my classic God of Wars, the true Kratos, not this old pappy God of War Kratos. I want that thug Kratos. I want that real Kratos. So give that. I will be so stoked for that. So let's hope that's true. Mafia, the Old Country. Good stuff. I've only beaten one Mafia, so I need to go back and I need to play all the rest of them. But I think it was Mafia 2 that I beat. I didn't even beat Mafia 3, unfortunately. I got pretty far in it, but I would have to start it all over because I've forgotten most of it. So I need to go back and I need to play Mafia 1, and because I got them all remastered. So excuse me. So yeah. I got to go back and do that. Dune Awakening. It looks cool, but it just looks like a game that's just going to take too much of my time. So, nah. Crimson Desert. That's it for me. That's the one. That's something that I'm excited for as well. I'm looking forward to that. So they give a release date to that. I'm cool. The first Berserker. I know that they had the demo for that. I don't know if they still have the demo. I'm sure they do. Looks cool. I don't care about playing the demo. I just want to buy the game. I just want it. So it looks like a game that's right up my alley. Hack and slash. Yeah, Xbox day one. Hopefully it's a Play Anywhere title as well. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. I'm with it. It looks great. I don't know if it'll be a day one for me, but anyway, South of Midnight's definitely a day one. I know that it'll be on Game Pass. I don't care that game. I'm getting a deluxe edition all day, every day. That's the game. That's my most anticipated game next to Shadow of oh my goodness. Well, I can't think of the Assassin's Creed game, Assassin's Creed Shadows. Those two right there are my most anticipated games right now. And then they said the Wolverine, and then 2 Chinese titles, which I'm all in for because I'm glad that the Chinese titles are really starting to blow up. I've been playing a lot of them on PC, and then some that's transferred over to Xbox and PlayStation. So yeah, like I'm stoked for that too. So I'm glad because I just love the lore. That's one thing about with Wukong, the lore, that the whole mythology is just so wild. Anyway, so let's go here. I just wanted to go here for a second. So come with me right here. So let's look at this right here. Where we at? Where we at? All right, here we go. All right, so okay, so yeah, I skipped the all the crazy stuff with the I'm not caring about no content creator of the year. I don't even know who those people are. Um, hold on, do I see my name there? Well, I haven't been doing any content creation that much this year, but hey, my name ain't there. I ain't worried about it. Okay, here we go. Most anticipated game. Okay, so Death Stranding 2, of course, he's going to sit there and be all over Kojima's nuts. So that's expected. Ghost of Yutai or Yutori or however you pronounce that, whatever. Okay, I can see that. Grand Theft Auto 6, Metroid Prime 4, Monster Hunter Wilds. What is your guess, guys? I'm going for Grand Theft Auto 6. I don't see anything on this list that has that touches that. I mean, I'm sure that some of you guys will have a different thought process on it, but no, I'm going straight on. I'm saying Grand Theft Auto 6. Looking forward to that. It might not even come out this year, but okay. All right. So best adaptation, Arcane, Fallout, Knuckles, Like a Dragon, Yakuza, Tomb Raider, The Legend of Lara Croft. I think these is all. I guess these are all shows. Fallout, you would think there would be the standout out of that. That would be my pick, for sure. Um, Best multiplayer, Call of Duty, Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Mario Party, Jamboree, Tekken 8, Warhammer, Space Marines 2. Now, I would love to play Space Marines co-op. I have not, like I said, I streamed it and then I stopped and I didn't come back. So I'm going to get back into that. So I would love to play that co-op. So I think that would be really, really fun. But and of course, the mighty Tekken 8 is fantastic. But man, listen, I can't deny it. I can't deny it. Listen, Helldiver 2 is really fun too, but this Call of Duty is special. And so the Call of Duty is gonna and I'm doing this over my mighty Tekken 8. That's crazy. So yeah, I'm going with Black Ops 6. Black Ops has got to be there, got to be damn good for me to because just on GP I should say Tekken, but nah, Black Ops, Call of Duty is really good this year. So that's my pick. Best sports games: F1 24, EA Sports FC 25, NBA 2K 25, Top Spin 25, EW. Wait a minute. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. That's it? Wait a minute. Where is college football? Where is Madden? What the hell? Already, I see a problem. Top spin? Really? Top spin? Are y'all serious? Top spin? Uh, Listen, I've heard good things about Top Spin, but man, okay, I'm gonna tell you this right here. College football should be at the top, and college football would be the winner. Listen, I don't even care about this list. It's college. It's college, and I wouldn't be surprised if NBA 2K don't win it again. So let's keep it moving. College football for best sports racing game. Good God Almighty, people. Best sim strategy game: Frostpunk 2, Age of Mythology, Retold, Kanitsugami. I think that's how you say that. Path of the Goddess, Manor Lords, Unicorn Overlord. Now, I've heard a lot of people talk really, really good about Unicron Over. I said Unicron, Unicorn Overlord. Got Transformers on my mind. But you know what? On this one, and I really enjoyed Path of the Goddess. I have not got the chance to beat that yet, but I did play. I did put in about like maybe six, seven. Well, no, not that much. I probably put about 3 to 4 hours in. I really liked it. I thought the strategy side of it was pretty cool. It's a really unique game. Um, Age of Mythology, I've heard so much good stuff about that, and Unicorn Overlord, and man, all these games have I've except for Manor Lords. I haven't heard anybody talk about Manor Lords, but every game on here I've heard very very good things about. Especially for me, I'm gonna go with this Age of Mythology Retold, just because it was a game that was on my list, it was on my radar, but when it came out, we you got I was still playing at the time. I was still playing Black Myth, and I went ahead and I got the the shooter, Space Marines 2. And then there was another game that I was playing. There was Mortal Kombat, but there was another game that I was playing too that in there. And then I knew that later on the expansion to Starfield came out, the Shattered Spaces. So I just didn't have time to jump on Age of Mythology. But I'm going to go with Age of Mythology on this one, just because I'm I own it. So I'm finna go ahead and I'm finna, and then Frostpunk 2, I've heard really good things. Like I said, I've heard really good things about every game on here except for Minor Lords. So I don't know. Best family game, Princess Peach, Showtime, Astrobot, Super Mario Party, Jamboree, The Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom, the Plucky Spire. Yeah, I wanted to really play Plucky Spire, and I still do. I will eventually get that game because it looked fascinating. You know what? I'm just gonna have to give it to Astrobot, man, because I mean, it looks great. It's a game that I'll play. If it comes to PC, I'll pick it up. But yeah, now I'll give it to Astrobot on that one. You know what I'm saying? But Plucky Spire, yeah, no, I'm gonna copy you. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna play you. All right, best fighting game. Let's go. Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, another game, Rising, which is another game that I have. Really great game. Like I said, the fighting night. I'm really, really excited about being back. Like the fighting juices, pause is back, and I'm loving my fighters now. Like I said, I'm all in about my fighters now. And that's a really good fighter, damn good fighter. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, tough. It's real good, real good. I was pleasantly surprised at how good that game is. I knew that the DBZ hype boys and girls, but now actually when I was playing it, I was like, damn, this is legit stuff. It's a really good fighter. Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection runs runs superb, runs fantastic, runs great. What I'm saying? It's broken as it should be. Don't make no changes, no patches. Just keep the online as solid as it is, and just let us act a fool and then when you get caught up in those people that hit you with the endless combos, you know what? Just drop the controller and just enjoy. And if you can record the gameplay, just show it so you can show you getting your ass beat. But hey, it is what it is. It's enjoyable. It's really, really good. It's great to see Marvel vs. Capcom games back. No question. Kudos to Capcom for doing that. Multiverse. I lost the big. I lost my interest in multiverses when they had me pay for characters, which I got those characters back. But I was enjoying the game, and I know that the game is I know the game is better than what it was. But I just lost interest. And you had me waiting for over a year for this game when I'm already on it from the beta. And then you just come out of the blue and just say, well, we're going to shut it down. We'll be back when we come back. I'm like, nah, I'm not going to stick around. I paid my money into it. You got me. You got me with me buying some characters and stuff like that. But now my interest level is... Nah, so but it's not a bad fighter at all. It's actually a really good brawler. So no question. And then of course the Mighty Tekken 8. This is a tough one. This is definitely a tough one for me. Because there's only two right now. Sparking Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising is a damn good fighter, right? It's good. The online sometimes is not the best though. So you got to disqualify that. Marvel vs. Capcom, the learning curve of playing that game you're playing it for mostly nostalgia, and then until you realize of how bad you are when you playing against somebody who's a pro. And so you know, saying when they commence to start putting the boot to your ass, then you come to realize, oh, now this is why I hated this game. I never hated Marvel vs. Capcom, any of the games, right? And matter of fact, my favorite, next to Capcom 2 is Children of the Atom. Like, I mean, give me more Omega Red any day, all day. Um, so it's going to be between Dragon Ball, Sparking Zero, or Tekken 8. And what's as wild is that excuse me, it is two games that's owned by Namco, which is wild. Bandai Namco, and it's really good for fighting for the fighting fans out there, because this is a really good year for fighting. It's been a really good, fantastic year for fighting for the last, I say for the last 4 years. Really, really solid. Um, I'm going with Tekken 8, man. Like reluctantly, because I mean, Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero is fantastic, but Tekken 8 is just Tekken 8, man. Tekken is, and I was just complaining about Tekken 8 with some of the stupid shit that you do, is being a 3D fighter, and you're still over here trying to make it like a 2D fighter. But regardless of that, still, uh, man, I don't know. Story mode, because the one thing I'll give the nod to Tekken 8, because the story mode is up to par, is up to standard. It's not that corny stuff that they were doing in Tekken 7. Even though like the story aspect of it in Tekken 7 was good, I just wasn't a fan of the narration stuff and the cheap little slider picks. Like they really went in and had a almost kind of like a MK vibe to their story. And so like, and I haven't got a chance to play the DLC story of why the hell is Hayachi back? How is he back? So I will be doing that. That you'll be seeing me playing that for sure. I don't know which, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know which expansion I'll be playing on Fight Night Sunday. It might be Tekken, because I've been playing Tekken. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But Tekken 8 is going to be my best fighting game, just by a hair. Sparking Zero should have got the win, but I'm just going to give it to that. Okay, best RPG. This is very interesting too. Now, I have not played Final Fantasy Rebirth. I know that Dark Optimus, he said he just got finished playing it. He was saying it was fantastic. That's great. But let's see here. I played Dragon Dogma 2. Got kind of bored with it. Well, I got a little bored with it. Then I came back and I was like, okay, I'm feeling the vibe. But then Hellblade 2 dropped, and that was all she wrote. That was all she wrote. The greatness came back to me, and there was no way that I was everything got put down when Hellblade 2 dropped. So, but Dragon's Dogma is cool. I thought the overhype was a little bit kind of, yeah, they just overhyped it, in my opinion. It was good, but not as good as some people was trying to project this to be, or attempt it to be. The Elden Ring Shadow of the El Tree, good stuff. Good stuff. Did not beat that either. But you still got that vibe. I did like the place where I'm at. Of course, it's a nightmare to play. Had to get adjusted to it. I went up there, tried it in the very beginning of it. When it took me forever to figure out how to get there, for one, to how to get to the El Tree world or whatever. But when I finally got there, I'm like, I'm badass. I got all these skills. I went through. I'm tarnished. I sit there and had the good ending. I got, I got the perfect ending, in Elden Ring. I am the man. I am tarnished. And then I go up there and try to fight that big ass thing that throws fire at you, and he wiped the floor of me. So I was like, okay, I'm not as tarnished here. So then, avoid him, go through, kill some people, get into that, fight some big ass spider looking scorpion things. Not a fan of those, but hey, took those out. And then got to parts of some story, and then I haven't gone back. But good stuff. Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. I have not even booted it up. I own it. haven't booted it up. Like that's what I said. I got a backlog I got to go back to, man. I haven't even booted it up. Haven't even booted it up. I bought it day one and haven't booted it up yet. So for people who are Like a Dragon fans, please, you can shame me in the comment section all you like. I know it's that's a bad look for me. And then there's Metaphor. Listen, as you were seeing me showing gameplay from Metaphor, Metaphor is dope. Metaphor is dope. Now, I will say this. Metaphor's ending, last boss was very, very, very Parasite Eve. If anybody's played Parasite Eve and faced that boss, the end boss of Parasite Eve, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about if you've gotten to a chance to beat Metaphor and that boss. I'm like, bro, what? Are you kidding me? How many changes you bro, I'm like, man, if you gonna stop changing, what the hell are we doing? Like, bro, what is this? Like, man, we start out in the ground, we go into the air, we in the ground, we in the air, we on a floating rock. I'm like, ugh, okay, whatever. It was wearing my patience. Like, no, dude, as many times as I did. But you know what I'm saying? It's a good JRPG. This is gonna be tough because, like, again, I haven't played Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I will play it when it comes to PC. There's no question. So, man, so I have to give it to Metaphor just because. I have to give it to Metaphor. So I think Metaphor wins that. For people who's played Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, you're gonna have to let me know if you played Metaphor and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which one do you think that's the best? Because I mean, honestly, if Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is really, really good, then I would probably, I don't know, probably not. No, I'll probably still stay with Metaphor. I don't know. All right, best action adventure game: Astrobot, Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, Silent Hill 2, Star Wars Outlaws. The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. I'm going with Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. Listen, Star Wars Outlaws is a good game. It was buggy as hell, and it needed the patch. They needed the patches, for sure. But it's not a bad game at all. I would hope people that would give it an opportunity. You know, Ubisoft games will usually go on sale at some point. When that bad boy drops on sale, give it a shot. It is a good game, man. It's a really good game. All right, so best action game: Black Myth, Wukong, Black Ops 6, Helldiver, Stellar Blade, Warhammer, Black Myth. Hands down. Let's keep it moving. I ain't no need for me to make no discussions. Best VR AR game. I don't care. Let's look. Arizona Sunshine Remake, Asgard Wrath 2, Batman Arkham Shadow, Metal Hellsinger VR, Metro Awakening. I'm just gonna throw a hat in the ring and say Arizona Sunshine Remake. Now, I did hear that the Asgard Wrath 2 is really good though. Keep it moving. I'm going with Arizona Sunshine Remake. Best mobile game: AFK Journey, Balatro, Pokemon Trading Card Pocket Game. Game Pocket, Withering Waves, Zen Zero. Zero's. Oh my God, that's a lot of Z's. Zenless, dyslexia going crazy. Zenless Zero. Oh shit, Zenless Zone Zero. Let's get that. All right, Zenless Zone Zero. All right, so I have not played the first 3 games, but I have played the last 2 games. And the last 2 games, Withering Waves and Zenless Zone Zero, are really damn good. Matter of fact, I would almost say that those 2 are a tie. I'm going to go with Zenless Zone Zero because of the fact that I like the art style better. I love that art style. It had if anybody's played the My Hero Academia fighting games, that 3D that's that look, and I love it. It's colorful. It has I like that, and the combat is dope on both of them, no doubt. But I'm going to give the edge. I would say it's tied, but I would give the edge to Zenless. I would say Zenless in that. And those games also can be played on the PC because I have those games on PC. So, best duo indie game, Blardo, Animal Well, Pacific Drive, The Plucky Spot. I think that what is that Blarto, or how do you say that? I think that's that card game. A lot of people talk really really good about that. I have not played it, so I don't know. There's Manor Lords again, and then there's a place. So I'm gonna go with the Blarto. And please, in the comment section, light my ass up for me messing this game up. I apologize to the developers. Oh man. Okay, and for the people who like that game, I think that's that card game that a lot of people have been talking about. So I'm going to game Animal Well. There's that card game again. What? Lord, what? And the Lesser Eyes. I don't know. Neva, UFO 50. Hmm. I don't know. Never played any of that. So I'll just go back with the card game. So let's go with that. Best community support: Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, No Man's Sky. You know what? Baldur's Gate 3 will probably win, but I'm finna say Helldivers 2. Helldivers 2 is really fun. So I'm gonna go with that. Okay, best ongoing game. And as I'm looking at this, I still don't see Sea of Thieves. I still don't see Destiny 2 is almost dead. What are they talking about here? Why is Destiny 2 here and not Sea of Thieves? I, I don't know, people. I don't know. Destiny 2, Diablo, Final Fantasy 16, Fortnite, Helldivers 2. I would think that Fortnite would probably win, but I would say, knowing the Keeley Awards, it's probably Helldivers 2, but I would say Diablo. I would say Diablo, or Fortnite, but I would go with Diablo, honestly. I say Diablo. All right, so let's go this. Games for Impact. Closer, The Distance, Nadika, which I want that game. That game looks fantastic. I've been keep watching that game since it was talking about in development. And I for some reason I just haven't pulled the trigger on it. It's been on sale a couple of times. I just haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. I will pull the trigger on that game. That game does look very, very intriguing to me. Neva, Life is Strange, Double Exposure, Hellblade 2, Tales of Zentera, Zal. Well, listen, I'm sorry. Hellblade 2, you know what I'm saying? Zal, man, my heart would want you to win, but man, Hellblade 2 is there. Nothing else. That's all I really see. I mean, I see everything else. I know that I want to play Indica, but nah, man. Nah. Yeah, Hellblade 2. And Tales is a really good game too. So if you have not got a chance to play it, I would recommend to give it a shot. It's inexpensive. Man, give that game a shot for sure. It's a really good platformer. Um, Innovation and accessibility, Black Ops, Diablo, Dragon Age, Veilguard, Prince of Persia, and Star Wars. All really good games. I played them all. Man, I'm going to give Dragon Age, because there's a lot of good options in Dragon Age. Veilguard, a lot of good options, and I really don't like the fact that that game is not here for best RPG. It should be in that list, in my opinion. Yeah, it should be in that list. It should be. I mean, I don't have a problem with you could add Elden Ring DLC, but man, Veilguard is a good game. It should be in that list. Veilguard is a really good game. Don't let the haters tell you that shit. Okay, so going there, that's performance. Uh, so let's see. Final Fantasy, Life is Strange, Star Wars, Silent Hill 2, and uh, Hellblade 2. Hellblade 2. I'm gonna take that. Best audio design, Astrobot, Black Ops, Final Fantasy, Hellblade 2, Silent Hill 2, Hellblade 2. Simple. Best score of music, Astrobot, Final Fantasy, Metaphor, Silent Hill 2, Stellar Blade. Okay, I want to go with Metaphor, but some tells me I think that Final Fantasy Rebirth, you know, has a really good score. So I'm gonna go with Final Fantasy Rebirth on that. Best art direction. Damn, there's a lot. Damn. Okay, there we go. There we go. We're getting close to it. All right. Best art direction. Astrobot, Black Myth, uh, Elden Ring, Metaphor, Neva. Now I love the look and the style of Metaphor, no doubt about it. Elden Ring, that world did look good, man. Black Myth, man. I'm gonna tell you this, man. I'm gonna tell you this right now. One of my favorite themes for a game in 2024 was in Black Myth. If you beat Lao Fang, Lao Fang, I think that's his name. You beat Lao Fang that second time, yeah. Or Lee Lang. I think his name's Lee Lang. If you beat Lee Lang that second time, it's hell. It's a problem. He is a problem. But if you beat him, it is well worth it. It is the best cinematic stuff of 2024. And for any game that I played in 2024, even better than the stuff that I've seen in Hellblade 2. It made me stand up. Now Hellblade had me up on a couple of things, man. I was getting down, fighting, and the scene where you was in the village. I was loving all of that. But or the scene where you was running through the typhoon or whatever. Oh my God, that was so great. But man, that fight after you beat Li Fang, and then what happened, what partakes after that, I think I might just, I mean, the game's old enough, but see, I don't know, it ain't came to Xbox yet. I might just, I want to show it so bad because I got to record it. It was so epic. I said, yo, I was walking in circles. I said, yo, this is too much. This shit is too cold. And you are controlling what's going on. Oh my God, that was amazing. Okay. All right, let me stop fanboying for a minute. All right, so yeah, Black Myth got that. So best narrative, Final Fantasy Rebirth, Like a Dragon, Metaphor, Hellblade 2, Silent Hill 2. See, I hate this because I haven't even booted up Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, and I have not played Final Fantasy Rebirth. So Silent Hill 2, I haven't played that either. So there's only really two games that I played. So I'm gonna have to go with Metaphor, for me, for best narrative. Had a really good story, for sure. Best game direction, Astrobot. The card game, Black Myth. Elden Ring, Final Fantasy, Metaphor. I will go with, you know, I'm gonna throw this one. I'm gonna throw a wrench in this one. I'm gonna say Astrobot. Astrobot looks really incredibly fun. It looks really, really fun. Like I really am intrigued by that game. Like I mean, I know that it's, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of platformers, but it looks really fun. So I'm gonna throw Astrobot in there. All right. So game of the year. You got Astrobot, you got the card game, you got Black Myth, you got I really don't agree with Elden Ring being DLC being up for game of the year. I just don't. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth Metaphor. I'm going to go with Black Myth. Just that simple. Just that simple. All right. So there you have it. There's my thoughts on that. You're probably saying, "Oh my goodness!" And so now here we go again to the last part of this video. The identity politics. All right, so this is what actually sparked me from. Uh, this actually sparked me for real to get to make a video. I was I was sitting here, I was watching, I was looking at stuff on Twitter and whatever, and I seen my brother Kid Smooth post something about Elon Musk and about Grubs and about how they felt about Avowed. And that disappointed me to no end. Because it's like, and I normally don't. So every once in a while, I will jump in and I will post something on somebody's post, and I know that's what it's about. Like, you give your opinion or whatever, but sometimes I just let people cook and let them do what they want to, because I know when I post stuff and it's whatever, and I don't mind people coming in here or whatever. But it's funny to me is when people say, get crazy, and then I say, look, you in my post, you know what I'm saying? If you don't like what I have to say, you don't have to, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to participate. You can block and mute. And then they'll say this corny shit about, oh, you don't understand what that's what it is. That's what it's about. It's like, you come in here and I can post whatever I want. Yeah, but that's fine. But you over here trying to cause bullshit, and that's what I don't want to do. But I could not resist. I could not stand there, and I just couldn't. Because this is my problem. And I've been saying this here for the last couple of years. I would go back and say about 4 years. I said, people keep talking about they don't like politics in games. They don't want politics in their gaming. And I'm like, it's slow. I said, it's coming. I said, you hear it. More time, you see it. The more, saying but they finally found the words that stuck, like Sweet Baby Ink and DEI. It finally found the words to stick. And now they've made this shit so political that now I love talking politics. For the people who follow me on Twitter, I love it. I talk about it. I have no problem talking about politics. And so when the people sit here and talk about, well, I don't want to talk, it's here. Because if you're into this whole position of wanting to talk about politics, of don't want to talk about politics, but yet you still are about talking about identity politics, you're talking about politics. It blows my mind that, see, and this is what's wild. When he brought up about Elon Musk and talking about, well, what Elon's talking about, he wants to go after DEI. People don't know the history about Elon Musk, right? Like, I mean, there might be fans of him or whatever, and things like that or whatever, and that's fine. But people don't know the history of this man. This man's family, they were already rich. But this man is South African that moved away after the apartheid. See, hold up. And the reason why they moved is because they wanted to keep they didn't want to segregate. They didn't want to end segregation. They wanted to keep segregation. They didn't want to end it. They wanted to keep it. They didn't want the indigenous people of that country, to be integrated into their neighborhoods. So they did the white flight. They moved their ass to the United States. And what happened over there? He brings that bullshit here, which this country always has this problem with racism. It is here. Don't let anybody tell you that it's not. It is there. It is here, and it's not going away. And it's even going to be more revved up, because I've seen it even more looking on Twitter, more and more. You know what I'm saying? People are being more bold with the N-word, being more bold with being just an asshole, right? But this is my thing, right? They want people to act like, because the games that they don't like, you shouldn't like them either. Like, in case in point, this game here, I'm going to make this clear. Dragon Age Vanguard is the most diverse game I've ever played, and I loved every bit of it. I loved it. Seeing all of those people and all the colors. Like, I mean, of course, I made my character a black man, a light-skinned black man. But I'm talking about just the characters involved into the game. It is so diverse, so open, so real life, in the sense of how, in a fantasy world, that you could see these characters being a part of this world. And it wasn't problematic. It wasn't anything. See, the one thing where people was coming after this game for was the dumbest thing, and it was a side mission. Okay, for one, the pronoun thing, right? Which is dumb, but let me make this point. The pronouns. When you create your character, that's the only time you see it. You don't see it any other time in the game. When you create your character, you have it. Well, I don't want that. I don't want the option. Are you really that? Really? Come on. It's just an option. And I don't even remember if you had to pick any of them, they, he, she, he, they. What I can't even remember. That's how insignificant it is. I'm just like, okay, we picked it, we moving on. I'm more concerned about how my character is going to look, what my hairstyle, what the black hair look like. Worried about no damn pronouns, but regardless, right? All right. So then the next thing that they jumped on this game about was the stuff with Taj, which is the Quarneri. I think that's their species, the people with the horns. And this whole little sequence that they played where it was them doing push-ups because they were talking about like holding people accountability for being wrong about a person or judging a person or something like that. That's a side mission, people. And it's optional. You don't even have to do it. And also you might not even see it because of the fact that I don't know if you know, you have to play Taj's whole backstory and you can stop it at that point after you do Taj's story, right? Like if you beat that, you beat the Dragon King. That's the name of the dude, right? And there's another option which you kind of know when you're flowing through the game, you'll know that, okay, this is the end part where y'all have a conversation. But you can have, because the way Taj is presented, you can give her an option to where she can be non-binary or she can be Ravini, which is where she is binary, right? You might see that sequence, but it's optional because you don't have to play it. That's the thing. You can beat the Dragon King and not even go there to that little sequence, and it's only like a 10-minute little part where they having a discussion because they all got together after they defeated the Dragon King. The whole game has nothing else to do with pronouns. It has nothing to do with any of that. This is why I tell people, these people are full of bullshit. They're liars, they're deceivers, and it's sad that some of you people will go behind this and agree to this and think that this is exactly how the gaming is supposed to be. This is not gaming. Let's talk about the combat. Let's talk about the visuals. Let's talk about the game story. Let's talk about something else, not about a pronoun that you never see again in the game, not about a sequence that is optional. But they will dwell on that. Oh, it's made by Sweet Baby Inc. Who cares? Sweet Baby Inc's made a whole bunch of games. See, this is what's wild to me. See, this is why these people are frauds. They fraud the public. They don't make any goddamn sense, right? Okay, so they were cheering a game. They were cheering on a game that I sit there and enjoy and love, which is the First Ascent. Now I haven't played the First Ascent in a little while because I've been playing other stuff. Right? You only can play one game at a time. And so I'm going back and I'm looking at First Ascent. People are falling off. Where are these crusaders for Big T and A? Where y'all at? Why y'all ain't here trying to defend this game? Y'all was all about this. It's like, look, Japanese games and American games. And look at this. And y'all ain't talking about the First Ascent. People is falling off like a motherfucker. They're gone. It's like 6,000 people that's playing right now, that's still good numbers. The game is not dead. But compared to where it was when they were bragging about it, again, what are we talking about? The First Ascent is still a good game, regardless if the character models look sexy or not. It's a fun game to play. But you'll get a burnout because you'll play it for so much and you're doing pretty much kind of like the same thing as a grinding type of game, and then you move on to something else. Another thing is where they're talking about a vow. So, like, there's a picture of somebody who made a weird altered face and they tried to make it out to where it's supposed to be. And then now they're talking about the pronouns and I guess they're taking the pronouns out. Listen. And this is where I go back to talking about the developers and saying, listen, stand your ground. Let these grifters get out here and force their hand against you. Do not be afraid of no damn Elon Musk because he sits there and he's saying he's going to go after gaming. Because listen, what that means is that he's going to want games to be what he wants it to be. Understand if people are tell you that, well, we'll never get another Chainsaw Lollipop. Well, we did. We got a remaster. I just picked up what is the name of that game? The Shadows of the Damned remaster. If it sold well, they might bring a sequel to both of those games. But if it didn't sell well and then you don't see it, then what's the problem? It's because you didn't buy the game to where they seen that there was interest. But there you go. This is what I'm just confused as hell is that there will be people that will come out on this platform and will tell you you can't trust billionaires because they only care about one thing, and that's about the money. They don't care about you, but then yet you sit there and y'all tout these billionaires as though that they give a damn about you. I thought, which one is it? Which is it? And I'll be damned if I sit there and I follow behind a person that sits there and that ran from his home country because he wanted segregation to stay, or his mama did. Nah, bro, can't follow nobody like that. You can keep your bullshit truck and cars. What my thing to what you know what I'm saying, what I want more than anything in gaming is things to be the things to where we were headed. Like, listen, I don't know what Spider-Man 2 is about. It could have been corny. I don't know. I don't know. But what I know when I'm playing Dragon Age Veilguard, I had a blast. That's why I'm showing the gameplay. And that's why I'm sitting here, I was like, oh no, I just don't play one particular type of game. That's why I was showing you the gameplay of Metaphor. I play all this shit. I play everything more than some of these people that sit there and brag about stuff. What are we doing here? Like, I can understand if it's something that's overly forced or pushed, and then use it. But there's a remedy for that. You know what that remedy is? Don't buy it. Move on. But to willingly tell other gamers you should follow my path and do what I say because this is against your interest. And especially if you're a person of color that sits there and listens to that bullshit and actually agree with it. Yeah, nah, that's a problem. That is a major problem. So when y'all talk, and see, this is another thing too, is that like that's all they talk about is identity. That's all they do. They always got to have a boogeyman or something. They're talking about trans people. That's like what they did with the Harry Potter game, Hogwarts Legacy. One character. You know what I'm saying? The devs made this, and then they sit there and then the gaming industry shitted on the game, which was a high quality game. The game should have been up for Game of the Year. It was the best selling game of the year, and then that gets pushed back, and then people over here wanting to support the chick that wrote the Harry Potter books that is homophobic. What? What kind of idiotic, ridiculous shit is going on here? Like, both sides on that issue was wrong. The game is fantastic. Give the game its due and the developers their due. And this whole thing is, like I said, when they're over trying to make a thing about an enemy, understand what going after trans people, the percentage of how many trans people is in this damn world. Hell, how many trans people is in the country? Like that one crazy ass commercial that I kept seeing while I was watching football that I guess worked to got this moron back in the White House. But to sit there and to say, well, the transgender support, bruh, in the United States, it is less than 1%. Like, it's like 1.4, 1.6%. I mean, I'm sorry, like 0.6%. It's less than 1%. And the biggest group of transgender people that are in America, or in the United States, I should say, isn't even on the goddamn continent. It's in Hawaii. And the country that has the most is Thailand. The most trans people is Thailand, and that's at like 1% or something like that. That's not. That's one something like that. It's not a big group of people. So again, we're showing out a boogeyman of transgender people. Oh my God, they're everywhere. They're taking over. Less than 1%. See, one thing that I will never do is fraud the public, to my listeners, to my supporters, to anybody. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to sit there. I mean, I might be misinformed on something, and if I'm wrong, I'll be happy to be corrected. But the one thing that I cannot stand is when they knowingly are using you for a purpose for an agenda that is not even there. There's always a boogeyman for certain groups of people that wants to say, "Oh, it's immigrants, or it's Haitians, it's Black people, it's Mexicans, it's Latino." What? It's the highest crime rate in the United States. How about y'all look in the mirror? See, when I come back, like I'm saying, when I come back in 2025, I'm gonna be on a demon arc. I'm not gonna hold back my language. I'm not gonna sit back and say nothing, because I've done it because I wanted to try to appease certain friends that sit there and was like, man, I don't really want to be in it. I don't give a damn no more about that, bro. I'm gonna keep it funky at all times. Because the reality of it is that when I sit there and try to be diplomatic and be understanding, I got stabbed in my back. It ain't gonna happen again. So again, this whole thing with the identity politics is a farce. They just want to whitewash this. They want to make this. It's just no different than what Elon posted when he said some shit about. He posted a picture about in the past how white people were good people. I'm pretty sure there was some good people that was back in the past, but they weren't walking with a doll, giving a doll to their daughters or sons or something like that. Nobody's saying that all white people are bad people. Let's not get this tripping. There was a lot of people that were sitting there bringing their kids to see Black people get lynched, Italians get lynched, Irish get lynched, Native Americans get lynched and shot, Asians get put in camps. I don't want to hear no more excuses. If we're going to talk about this stuff if you really want to take it there and talk about identity politics and talk about politics and talk about what's going on in this country and things of this nature, well, let's talk about it. Let's not be afraid about it. Stop gaslighting people and trying to make it seem like, oh my God, these video games is trying to turn your kids out to be like my goodness, I can't think of his name. I know his name. I don't want to say it wrong though. The guy that's made he's getting a lot of heat right now, but he's made good grief. Twisted Metal and the God of War series, Jaffe. And I'm proud of him standing up for his daughter. And for anybody to stand up for their kids, regardless if they're different or not. So that's my thing to me, is where what is happening to gaming is not fun, in the sense of why are we playing? Why are we in here to talk about games? We're talking about things that's outside of the gaming space. And then when you have some people that want to try to be judgmental and say, well, I don't want to hear about that, but then you go listen to the bullshit from these other people? Are you kidding me? So I just want to make this point. I don't want to keep dwelling on it. But I just want to say, like, look, play the game. Do not find yourself in a position to where you lost out on a good quality game because of some stupid ass reason like a pronoun. That has nothing to do. There are people that, see, again, why is it that those people can't? I don't like that. But well, there's people that may not like your religion. There might be people that don't like the way that you live. When you find that to be offensive, to where somebody would want to regulate how you live or how you would want to be entertained, something is little and as small as something like a pronoun that's in a game that you do not see. And again, if you want to put the option in there, I'm not against that. Like, hey, before the game starts, if you like this game's well, in creative player, it's got to be somewhat pronouns or something like that. That's okay, cool. But listen, there are people that identify that stuff. I don't. I mean, my wife knows all about that type of stuff, right? Because I'm saying she in her profession, she deals with people that knows that stuff, and so she knows it. Okay, I don't, I just don't see the problem of where games like again when they have a game that has gay characters, or I mean, okay, like for instance, Baldur's Gate 3, that vampire is gay as hell. The vampire is gay. What's going on here? Like, I mean, you doing all different. The motherfucker was bumping and grinding with a bear. All right, so that's cool. I mean, that's what I'm saying. The priorities of where people are trying to make things seem like this is so evil, but this is all right. So we can look at women being womanized. Like, I mean, I like a dude that I see, the PlayStation dude out, like we'll go back and forth. It's not nothing serious or anything like that. But I just meant to say, like, man, you weirdos be out here. Like, I'll get the hots for looking at a nice looking video game character. Of course. I mean, when I did a show with GRG and I was over here like looking at the upcoming character from Mark of the Wolves, the busty blonde, like she hot. Yeah, cool. But I'm not going to sit here and be posting panty shots and why is this not this way, and why her dress doesn't, or why her bosom isn't moving a certain way, or have a type of sweat. What kind of freakazoids are you talking, man? Go find a broad, please. Go find something. And then when dude sit there and show me a picture of him and his wife, well, I'm like, well, go make love to your wife, bro. Go sit there and spend some time. You know what I'm saying? Put some, listen, let your freak flag be where it's at. I don't care. Let it fly. But don't sit here and try to tell me that it's not weird to sit here and to chastise other people because they think that it's strange that you are adamant about a video game character's polygon panties. That's something that you speak with your people, with your boys, and say, oh man, she bad, boy. She was real, Oh man, look, she hot. I get it. We men, right? But in public, you just openly just say some wild shit like that. Now listen, for the people who's into furries and Japanese saying anime porn and stuff, hey, I you know what I'm saying, one of my favorite people that I subscribe that subscribe to me, they into that, and it's all love. I don't judge them for that, but why should people judge? And like I said, but why should people judge people for pronouns or judge people for wanting to change stories into games that is more realistic or understanding that broadens the diversity into the game? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it should be an open field. Like, these are stories. This is art. This isn't anything about, if you want to single out something, single out the people that wants to stop stuff. And stop being weird at it by sitting there trying to normalize over sexualizing female characters or male characters, whichever one. And then on the flip side saying, well, no, I don't want these people to be a certain way. If you want to be accepted for being a certain way, by all means, right? I can sit there and tell you that you're a weirdo and we can keep it push. You can sit there and judge those people for who they are, but you should let them keep pushing and let them do what they want to. So these people, these directors, these devs, these people that's making these games, make the games you want. Stop trying to have people to dictate to you. They're not going to buy them. Yeah, they will. Yeah, they will. But see, being a free thinker is hard sometimes. Being a person that steps out the box and not trying to be a part of this bullshit in crowd that wants you to be a certain way to make them feel validated. I shall not do it. I never have. I never will. I am not no ass kisser. I'm an ass kicker. I am my own person. I don't care if I have any content creator friends in this piece. I say what I want to say. I do what I want to do, how I want to do it. And it's only going to get worse coming forward. Because how I see it is that when people sit there and want to tell you a certain thing and not be open about, not be trustworthy about things, until when the moment to where their feelings get hurt by something else or whatever that has nothing to do with you, then it's one of these things where you just got to just lay the law down and just say, okay, whatever, just move on from it. So again, I think that the identity politics, my last point on it is that I think when you bring this type of stuff into the gaming, it only hurts gaming overall, because we're all playing it. Every last one of us are playing games. There's so many other games to play. There's thousands of games to get made every year. And there's plenty of ways to speak on it without trying to get on a soapbox and proclaim on one end, this is wrong and bad, but yet you'll go vote for somebody who does wrong and bad and you're just okay with it. Can't have it both ways. Anyway, thank you guys for coming and checking out the stream. Definitely will be back. Fight Night Sunday will be here Sunday. On the 13th, the last episode of GRG will be there. I hope you guys will come and check it out. I will be doing Fight Night Sunday. I'll do another My Thoughts video, and we'll see what gaming news that we can sit there and talk up, and maybe what trouble I could spark. Anyway, I thank you guys so much, man. Whew, I had to get this off my chest, and now I feel relieved. All right, guys, have a good one. Stay blessed. Peace.